Hey everybody, welcome to episode 16. Appreciate you joining in. As I always say, thank you for continuing to watch it, continue to share, continue to subscribe. Let everybody know to join in on the channel. As I always say, any questions or comments you have, drop a comment below, and I definitely try to get to it in the next episode. On my last episode, I had a couple people reach out, was excited about Ford, because as they started looking into Ford, they started to see the good things that Ford had to offer. So I was a little excited about that. Like I said, always here to help. Glad to see that people, actually learning from it, picking up a couple of stocks that they can now look into and see if they want to get into themselves or whatever the case may be. As I always say, I'm not a financial advisor, not a anything like that, a professional trader, anything of that nature. Just a person out here trying to share the trades that I'm in. And if you like them, definitely check them out. And if you don't, that's fine too as well. This episode is featuring me and my bad dog Kilo, as you can see. He's definitely bad as ever. But on this episode, I'm definitely gonna keep it short and sweet. Definitely don't want to hold you all too long on this episode. What I wanted to focus on, of course, always remind you all, Ford is a good one. I'm seeing, the downtrend a little bit on Ford now. So I would say if it's a buying opportunity, I'll try to look when it's going down versus when it's going up. So for me, I have like a certain, set limit to where Ford, when I first entered, whenever it reaches that entry point when I first entered or below that, then me personally, I'm definitely trying to get some more. So I'm waiting to see how Ford does, to see if it drops some more. If it does, then I'm definitely back in there to get, a couple more shares just to add to the portfolio. Because like I said, for Ford, for me, it's more like the long-term game. So I'm definitely waiting to see Ford, like I said, double at least in value. Which I don't mind waiting another year or two just to see, those 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 shares go and see what they do. But like I said, definitely check out Ford. Ford is a good one. I'm glad for the people that actually did get a chance to look into it, check it out, and see some of the great things that they're doing there. But on this episode, the main thing I wanted to focus on was cryptocurrency. As I'm looking at this past week, I see the trend of, Bitcoin starting to rise, Ethereum starting to rise back up, getting some of those levels. I think Bitcoin is like at 37, 38 now, getting close to that $40,000 range. So for me, when I'm looking at that, I'm looking at stocks that, pretty much follow that trend line the same as Bitcoin. So when I'm looking into that and I'm seeing the Bitcoin start to rise, then I'm looking for stocks that, I think it was episode 10 that I referred to is, those stocks, which is SOS, Mara, and Riot, right? Those three stocks that I like to focus on when Bitcoin is going up and down. As I'm seeing Bitcoin go up, those are the main three stocks that I'm focused on this week. Just to, ride that wave, definitely started entry point last week. Just seeing, Bitcoin and cryptocurrency on a downtrend. Definitely wanted to enter those stocks when they're on a downtrend as well. But I definitely looking to add some more this week if it continues to drop. But I'm looking to see Mara go up this week. Personally, I think Mara and Riot is going to go up this week. Just like I said, with Bitcoin rising over the weekend, and those other, cryptocurrency coins rising over the weekend, I'm looking to see that Mara and Riot definitely rise up. And the same thing with SOS. I mean, at the end of the day, SOS is a up and down game when I consider those type of trades. So I'm more in and out of SOS versus Mara and Riot. It's more like a long term for me. So those I'm looking just to see that explode. Some of those calls, options, I'm looking to get into some of those. Just because, like I said, just to see those that like SOS go up during this time, it's the perfect time to get into those right before, Wednesday, Thursday starts to hit. I think Tuesday definitely, should jump tomorrow. So it might be a little too late to get into it, but if not, then I would definitely start looking into like an entry point to get into some of those if you haven't already done so. So that's my pretty much take on the whole crypto wave right now as far as it's going up. I think, right now those coins and things are starting to go up. And then they're going to, of course, plateau and then drop back down, drop some. And me personally, I'm waiting on Bitcoin to get around 25,000 so I can get me a couple of those. Because once Bitcoin get in the $20,000 range, I definitely want as many as I can get because I definitely know Bitcoin's long-term end goal, right? So I see Bitcoin rising above the $60,000 mark eventually. But as far as right now, I don't really see it happening right now. If it does, great. But once it gets around that $20,000 mark, like I said, between 20 and 30,000, me myself, I'm trying to purchase as many as I can. And if it keeps going down, then cool. I'm gonna keep buying more and more so I can average down on that. But that's what I want to focus on this episode. Just want you all to look into those cryptocurrencies, look into those cryptocurrency stocks. Like I said, SOS, Mara, and Riot. those three for me are the main three musketeers, you can say, that I try to pretty much follow, because I see that they follow Bitcoin's trend line. So those are the main three that I'm going to focus on this week. Just looking into cryptocurrency and things like that, seeing the trend, how it's going over the weekend. I definitely want to see how those stocks, operate this weekend and see what they do. Which, they definitely could go down, but like I always say, if they go down, that's fine. If you're already in it like me, before the weekend started, then you can average down. But if it goes up, then definitely, like, if you're like in it like me before then, you definitely want to trim some of those now. Because like I said, you don't want to hold things when it's going up. When you're in the green, definitely want to start taking some of that green home, versus waiting for it to go in the red, because that's when you start bag holding, or you can't really time it, because nobody's going to be able to perfectly time the stock. You can't never get in at the bottom. You can't never get out at the top. It's all about finding that that good smooth selling where you're in the green. You kind of know, hey, it might shoot up some. That's why I'm dropping 80-70%. And then if it doesn't, that's fine. At least I saved myself and I got some of that profit out before losing it all when it starts to go down. Because like I always say, just like stocks and cryptos, they always go up, but they also go down as well. You definitely don't want to be in there, heavy when it's going down. You want to be in it heavy when it's already low. That way, when it goes up, you can start trimming it down. And when it starts going down, you'd already have your pot, so you're good to go there. But yeah, once again, Riot, SOS, and MAR, those three are some good ones to look into this week. Ford is always for me. Like I said, Ford, I believe Ford can easily get to 30 to $40 per share. Just giving it another year or two just to see if they continue on the path that they're going now, then I see that stock easily going to 30 to 40 with no problem in the next year or two. So that's what I'm really excited about with Ford, because Ford is something that I'm very, very intrigued into. And then, as always, when I tell people these past month, look for those stocks, those reopening type stocks. What I mean by reopening, we're starting to open up more now. People are getting more vaccinated. People starting to go back to work, things like that. You're starting to see restaurants starting to hire left and right. So those type plays, if you can get into those plays now, it's not too late. I don't think it's too late to get into it. Me, myself, I'm still buying all those type of stocks that are reopening type of stocks. Definitely try to get into it as soon as you can. That way, when you get into it, you can ride that wave, because stuff is going to reopen, and you definitely want to get into it, because just off of hype and things like that, you're going to see a lot of those stocks that were down just because of Corona that haven't recovered yet recover very fastly. And what I mean by that is REITs, right? Those type of things. Those stocks are definitely going to jump. So just definitely look into those type of stocks because they're definitely going to start jumping once. You have summertime here. You have vacation. People starting to go on vacation more. All these holidays, 4th of July. Those stocks, you're going to definitely see an increase. So I would say start building your pot now. That way, when it starts to ride, you can, ride that wave. This week, I'm looking for it. Like I always say, the market will be good. These past couple of days, Thursday and Friday, the market was amazing. I'm looking for that to continue. Of course, I'm looking for some correction in some stocks. But for this week, some of those bios that I'm in, I'm looking for those to jump. So we'll see how this week goes. Like I always do, I always would definitely post things for everybody to see, certain stocks and things like that. Any questions, any comments you have, like I always say, drop a comment below. Glad you all got to see this bad little mutt today. That's what I love calling them all the time. But definitely, like I said, any comments or anything you have, drop a comment below. Or, follow me on social media. Feel free to continue to reach out because I definitely, enjoy answering those questions and helping people out where I can. As always, focus. Do not stay in anything too long. Don't be one of those bag holders out here, hoping the stock is going to continue to go back up. As I always say, once you're in the greens, trim that pile some so you don't have to worry about it anymore. Thank you all for watching this episode today. Like I always say, watch all and every single trade that you do. Do not lose anything or miss out on anything, just because you're not really focused on those trades, right? So what I mean by that is, you see the stock, going down. Definitely know what you're getting out of, because if it's just going down, it's on a downtrend for a little bit, that's fine to hold that because at the end goal, as the stock is going to go up. Just stay mindful of that, because a lot of stocks right now, you're seeing a lot of bear traps and bull traps going out here. So definitely stay mindful of that. in this market, because I see that continue to happen, especially as we go into the summertime and things start to reopen. Thank you all for joining. Any questions, like I continue to say, drop a comment below, and I definitely get to it in the next episode. You all have a good one. God bless.